Hey guys, welcome on in to another episode, Getting Well with Terry and Friends, Trends and Betting Picks. I'm Terry, ready to break down today's slate. Short show yesterday. It's probably going to be even shorter today. Really small MLB slate. Of course, we have one CFL game, and NFL preseason starts today. So we have the first NFL preseason game. And yes, I have a play in it that I'll give out here on the show. But we'll start the show as we normally do, taking a look back at yesterday. Of course, it was a pretty bad Monday after a pretty bad Tuesday after a really great Monday. Things didn't go so well on Tuesday, but we bounced back yesterday, which is what matters here. Jazz Chisholm Jr. over 1.5 bases and home run, both losers. Vladdy over 1.5 bases, winner. Vladdy home run, loser. Joey Loperfido did get one base at the end of the game, but unfortunately not close enough. Ener Diaz over 1.5 bases, plus 115. And then I said on yesterday's show that my premium play yesterday was one I really liked. I went 2 unit play, 2.44 units to win 2 units. So the Padres winning that game 8-1. Uh, Very convincing victory. Great spot for the Padres as well. And that's why I took them for a bigger bet than I usually do. Manny Machado over 1.5 bases, a full unit play there as well on that one. Plus 145 winner, home run loser. Ultimately, up almost 3 units yesterday. So nice bounce back after a disappointing Tuesday night. And since the All Star break, I'll tell you right here, since the All Star break, we are. Dun, 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 dun. Of course, I'm doing this incorrectly. August 8th, up 18 units. So 18 units since the All Star break. Looking to get back on track here. Well, yesterday we got back on track. We're looking to keep things going here, going into today's slate. Going into the chat here, stocks play of the day: Jorge Soler over 1.5 bases plus 108. Best of luck. I hit the like button. Thanks, Justin. Appreciate that. Guardians money line: Ramirez over 1.5 bases. Kansas City team total over 4.5. Texans plus 1.5 when I bet it. Tailed your CFL and Angels money line. Well, thank you, Justin, for posting MLB plays because I guess I probably shouldn't have included MLB in the title on today's slate. I don't have anything. I don't have anything in today's MLB slate. I can quickly mention some hot hitters here. Obviously, Bobby Witt, as always. Paul DeJong, most likely playing for the Royals here. Detroit had not announced their pitcher when I updated the sheet this morning, so I'm not sure about that. Don't want to take any Orioles here. Josh Naylor, Jose Ramirez, both heating up. Will they face Trevor Rogers? Will they not? Has it been updated yet? No, it is not. So unknown who will be pitching for Baltimore here. Ultimately kept me off. Wasn't going to take Berger anyways. Matt Olson is heating up, but he's 0 for 3 against Max Mayer, and I don't want to take any player props against Max Mayer. 2-0 so far this season for Miami, and he's one bright spot for the Marlins in the future here. Riley, you could potentially look at him as well, but again, no play here for me. St. Louis, maybe Tommy Pham, but ultimately not enough to pull the trigger on it. Wisdom, Bellinger playing well also, but don't have good numbers against Sonny Gray. So ultimately passed there. And then Rockies and Angels. I lean with Brenton Doyle props, but not enough to pull the trigger. Ezekiel Tovar has been on a nice streak, hit streak. And then both of these guys you could potentially look at as well, but ultimately I didn't get to. So Fortunately, when it comes to MLB plays, I don't have any today. But we'll get to the NFL, and then I'll go to CFL. Um, don't have any NFL backgrounds or anything ready yet, so bear with me. Looking at the preseason game tonight, I lean with the under at 31 and a half. But that's such a low. Now we're seeing 30 and a halves everywhere. So the total continues to drop here. Um, this is going to be a game of backups, but probably even more than that, a game of second and third stringers. So most likely this is going to be a low scoring game. I did pull the trigger on Houston. Houston money line minus 125 earlier this morning. I'm seeing now plus 130, 30 plus 135 in most spots for Houston. Um, at this price, I probably would look more at the minus 1.5. But actually, if you can get Houston at minus 130, I would look at that because I could see this being potentially actually a 1 point game. I could see this being like 17 to 16, something like that. Um, 14 to 10. Like, I don't expect a lot of runs or a lot of points, sorry. But don't really want to take under 30 and a half in this one. So for the NFL, don't buy my premium play on the site because I just gave it out to you guys. Houston money line in the NFL. Now we will go over to the CFL where I do have a premium play up on the site, a 3 pick package, a premium play for tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday, all in the CFL. You can get that over at picksandparlays.net. We'll do what we normally do on Thursdays, which is look at the power rankings for the CFL and see how things have changed from last week. Of course, right here on the side closest to me is this week's rankings, and then the other is last week's ranking. So Edmonton stays in last place. Hamilton just beat them, so it would be crazy for me to put Edmonton above Hamilton after last week's game. So those teams don't move anywhere. Now, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. I was very close to possibly putting Hamilton above Winnipeg, but I'm just not quite there yet. Not quite there yet. This Winnipeg team is just not the same team as previous years. So the Blue Bombers don't move up or down, but it's very, very close between Hamilton and Winnipeg in my mind. In sixth, Toronto Argonauts last week. This week it's Calgary. Again, now when we get into this sixth, fifth, and fourth, they're all very close to each other in the middle of the pack here. But I do have Calgary moving down a couple spots after their loss to Ottawa. Toronto moving up one spot, and Ottawa. The highest I've had them all season long at fourth. Ottawa at 5-2. They're playing very well, better than they have in years. They're finding ways to win close games. So I have them here as fourth, but it is a big drop off from fourth to third. And I'll just kind of show this here. I did have Saskatchewan first last week. Still very high on this Rough Riders team, but without Trevor Harris returning this week, and after their loss last week, Saskatchewan has lost to Montreal and BC this season. So I can't have Saskatchewan above those teams with the fact that they've lost to them and the fact that Trevor Harris is not back yet. So Saskatchewan moving from first to third, Montreal moving to second, BC Lions back in the first place. But with the 3 top teams here, it is very, very close in my rankings. I have them very, very close together. So there's really the bottom tier in the CFL, the middle tier, and then the top 3 in my mind. Looking at this CFL game tonight between BC and Winnipeg. Obviously, BC 5-2, Winnipeg's 2-6. BC trending towards the over for the most of the part. Winnipeg trending towards the under. Obviously, BC scoring a ton more points, almost more than 9 points more per game than Winnipeg. Winnipeg allowing one fewer points per game than BC. Winnipeg has been a team that BC has struggled with. 5-3 over the last eight. Winnipeg's covered plus 4.5 in six of the last eight meetings. So Winnipeg has been able to play well against the BC Lions for the most part. However, these two teams have changed quite a bit this season. We have seen high scoring games when these teams face each other. So BC trending towards the over, Winnipeg to the under. Both teams trending towards the over when they face each other. Um, Looking at it here, um, obviously I do have a premium play up on the site in this game, but looking at it player prop wise, BC off the bye, Vernon Adams Jr. rested. He has at least 331 passing yards in five of his seven games this season. His passing yards prop is at 322 and a half. So I took that for a full unit over 322 and a half passing yards for Vernon Adams Jr. McInnes, two of his last three over 143 and a half receiving yards. So very high number recently. Now BC is getting Keon Hatcher back to make his season debut, which is another dangerous weapon for Vernon Adams Jr., which does make me want to stay away from McInnes props, just because I could see VA spreading the ball around a little bit more instead of just focusing on McInnes. So Keon Hatcher is potentially a good look. Minus 105 to get a touchdown tonight in his first game. I could see that. Hollins trending towards the under recently on his receiving yards after such a hot start this season. When it comes to Winnipeg, Caleros trending towards the under in passing yards. It hasn't been a good season for him. Now, Brady Oliveira, who I didn't pull the trigger on, three of his last four games over 96 receiving yards. His receiving yards prop is at 70 and a half. So that's a bit low of a number. So I do lean with Brady Oliveira over in his rushing yards. Sorry, not receiving yards, rushing yards. Nick Dembski is trending towards the under. But I did pull the trigger here, a half unit play. Ontario Wilson over 61 and a half receiving yards. Two of his last three games, he's hit 129. So he has been a big focus for Zach Caleros over the last few weeks. I don't really see anything changing here in this one. So when the receiving yards prop is half of what he's been doing recently, it's something I have to play. So playing it here for a half unit for Ontario Wilson. I do lean with Brady Oliveira. I might get to it because that's a really low number for the number one rusher in the CFL. Yes, BC is a good defense, but I think Brady Oliveira will hit the over. So most likely that'll be something else I look at, but haven't pulled the trigger on it yet in this one. So actually, no, it was a little bit of a longer show than yesterday. So I lied. That's surprising. No MLB. Sorry, guys. Today, 5 games. I just don't like them. Gave out my NFL play. Gave out my 2 CFL props, and that's it on today's slate. Do have a premium play though. 3 game package. CFL game for tonight, for tomorrow, and for Saturday. You can get that package on picksandparlays.net in the description below. Thank you everyone for watching. Hit the like and subscribe button if you guys enjoyed the show. I'll be back tomorrow with more plays. Still going to try to keep it lower volume because that's been what's working. But I'll definitely have more than just 3 plays on tomorrow's slate. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Best of luck tonight, guys.